สวัสดีตอนเช้าสวัสดีครับสบายดีไหมครับ How's everybody doing out there today? Today we got a little bit of a different subject, which, things happen. But today we're going to talk a little bit about the truth as I see it. The truth as I see it. Well, could somebody else confirm that with me? Hey, Daniel. What's happening? Is my microphone working? There you go. Must be you there, pal. Hate to tell you. Anyway, yeah, today we're going to talk a little bit about just whatever we feel like talking about. And, that's how it goes. So we got a bunch of things to talk about. But let me tell you something. Right now, the dollar to the Thai baht is unfortunately under 32 right now. It's 31.98. And I hate that when it's under 32, especially today, because I have to transfer some money. And I hate that. But anyway, the air quality is 87, and down on our farm, it's 59. So the air quality is a little bit better down there. They're both moderate. Temperature is 89 degrees Fahrenheit, high of 98, low of 84, and the feel like temperature right now is 94. If you want to say that in Celsius, it's 32 Celsius, high of 36, low of 29, and 35 is the feel like temperature. Humidity is 70%, and there's no rain in the forecast until this coming Monday, the 20th. No rain. It's all hot and dry, and yeah, very hot. We've been running the air nonstop pretty much because it really has been hot. But anyway, let me read out a few people who I want to thank for their help. Longhorns in what is this? Why do I have that in? Hang on one second. Longhorns and Jim. And then let's see here. Carnival Chronicles, Botman, Carlos Colucci, Fire Dude, Narve Omre, Charles Akana. Hey Charles. Tom O'Connell. Haven't heard from you in a while. Mr. Mitch, Andy Travels, TKO Sam, Stephen K, John Fromm, Suwon, Tim Mays, Mindy Corcoran, Lee, Tony, Henry McIver, Tim Gampacorta, Eli Barr, Bud Yeti, Patricia Weiss, Ray, Andrew Miller, Arthur Philibosian, Mike M, Dimitri, Elaine, Leon, Just Whistled by Brain Dagger Films, LTCR fan. There you go. Thank you to all those people and all the others who maybe contribute and aren't members or anything like that, but contribute through the the super chats, and I appreciate it very much. Wonky audio. I don't know why. How bad is it? You are the second person to say something, and I don't know what to say. Let me see. I'm not apologizing. I don't know what you're talking about. You've never been in the stream. I don't know you from Adam, so please, you know, I'm not apologizing to you. Okay? I don't issue apologies that easily. Sorry, pal. Anyway, hopefully we'll get through this. I don't know what the problem is. Hang on one second. The girls here are having a field day for some reason. Let me put my glasses on. Turn it down a little bit. Let's see what happens with this. Let's see if anything changes. Shut the fuck up already. God damn it, buddy. It's a good mic. Okay? I don't know what's going on, but you know what? Your comments, I don't need them right now. Really. It doesn't matter to me. Your comments mean nothing. All I did was try to plug everything back in, turn the mic down a little bit. That's all I did. So that's all I'm going to do. And if it's still that bad, if a couple of other people say, hey, the audio is terrible, well, then I'll unplug it, turn off the mic, and I'll use the mic on board. So very easy to rectify. Okay? Why don't you tell us about yourself there, Freeman? Tell us about what your story is. Are you in Thailand? Are you coming to Thailand? Have you lived in Thailand for many years? What's going on with you, buddy? We all want to know here. Everybody wants to know. Sort of. How is the audio now? How is the audio to everybody else? What about a couple other people? Good audio. Sorry. All right, how's that? If that's not better, I will unplug the mic and we'll just use the onboard mic. Sorry, I don't know what's going on, but it's a good. Well, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. There's a lot of loud girls here right now. They're screaming and yelling. So there's nothing else I can tell you. Usually you don't hear them because they're not so loud. some reason they feel the need to scream and yell right now. It's like, yeah, let's give it a go. Shall we? I have to tell you, I almost went to Starbucks today. And I'll tell you why. I almost went to Starbucks because I'm sitting there having a coffee. Jesus Christ. I'm sitting in the back, as I sometimes do at the coffee shop in the back room, which I like better than this place, but it opens. Oh my volume on the way, I can barely hear you. There's a lot of interference. Hang on a second. I'm going to try something one more time here. Okay. That's about all I can do. Hopefully there's a delay, but hopefully it's better. And I turned it back up, the gain back up, so hopefully it's better. And I turned it on and off. I don't know what to tell you if it's not good enough. And this mic is quite good and it's quite expensive. Okay, so and usually I don't have any problems at all, and haven't in quite some time. You don't know. Usually, when Thais are out amongst themselves in the villages, they can be loud because they're yelling at each other, but not when they're working right here. But what I was going to say is that I was in the back at the Kwangtong special. I want to just tell this chick, do you know how loud you are? It's like she's screaming. Anyway, I'm in the back having my coffee, and I'm sitting there just drinking my coffee and looking. I people watch. And this girl walks up to me, and I just, out of the corner of my eye, see the girl walk up to me, and I look at her, and it was beer from Starbucks. Who, I was at Starbucks there probably for years. I went to Starbucks. And, there was a crew of, say, they're all annoying. And, it really bugs me. And, I have other places I can go, but I can't go now because I'm here. Jesus Christ. Now, hopefully it's better. I don't know what to tell you if it's not, But anyway, so I saw beer. Now, some of you guys don't know who she is. There was a group of 3 or 4 girls with 4 girls at Starbucks, and they worked there for years. God, will you shut up? What? Hey. Come on, man. Now they beat their quiet. I don't usually get that way with them here. But that lady is she's so annoying, and she's one who doesn't usually work here. She's like a regional manager or something like that. And, she just figures, oh, there's nobody here because I'm sitting here. Just one person. Now, if a whole bunch of people were sitting here, you know, they'd probably be concentrating on work. Anyway, so, you know, Beer walked by, and she said, Scott, oh my God, I can't believe it's you. And I said, yeah, of course. What's up with you? You know, I haven't seen her in like 3 years. And, you know, some of the girls slowly dropped off. So, you know, I sat and talked to her for about 15 minutes. She looks a little older, but, you know, can't do anything about that really. So, okay. So, did I have fun with Songkran? No, not really. I didn't. I didn't do anything. I got splashed once. That's it. And I went all over town, and I got splashed one time. And you know, my wife has asked the kids, "Do you want to go and play? You want to go to a Songkran? We'll go to Ceylon or Central World or something like that." And we've been in a couple of times in the last few years. And my kids said, no, I don't want to go. We're like, why not? Ugh, they're bored. Nicholas was like, I don't want to. Hang on a second. Let me try something else. There you go. Now that should be a little loud. But Nicholas said, I don't want to go because I don't want to be around a mass of people throwing water and all kinds of other junk at me. I said, okay. So they didn't go, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not going now. You know. Well, the one at Central World was crazy. The one at the Khaosan Road was not that bad. And you know, quite frankly, listen, I've been here for 32 years, and I mean, you know, I've probably been to 25 Songkrans. I've been to some Songkrans in Burma, which is called Tinjin, and I forget what it's Tinyan, and in Cambodia, I forget the name of it, but I went to Cambodia one year, and I went in Laos one year. So I've done the Songkran thing. And, you know, it's fun. Sometimes it's fun. It just depends, you know. Thank you very much, Bruce. I appreciate it. Give Bruce a like, and if you would, very appreciated. So you know, that's how it goes. I don't always go to Songkran. I tell you what I'm gonna do. You see, some people hear me clearly, and some people don't hear me. For the people who can't hear me, I don't know what to tell you. There's a reason why some people can hear me and some people can't. Maybe turn up your volume. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. But it doesn't. You know, I'm sorry. That's all I can say. I can't try to worry about a few people when I got a bunch of other people that are saying things work. Anyway, so anyway, you know, it was nice to see Beer. There was what was her name? Grail. She's a bit. I don't know what to say. Oh my God! Will you guys stop complaining about either complain about it or don't say anything, please? Really? I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Hey, what's going on there, buddy Eddie? He didn't miss much. It's just a bunch of guys complaining about the sound. I'm gonna turn it back down. The next step is just to eliminate the sound. I'll just take the microphone off because it's been working extremely well. And in fact, I recorded quite a few things yesterday for my video, my first video, where I was down in the south in Wiangsa, in Suratani. Yeah, that's the problem. Is it's got to have a beach so you have the water. But we were thinking about putting the pool back there, but that's not the same. A pool is not the same as the beach. So there were a few things that I was thinking about that I've learned over the years, and that I try to think about how Thailand has changed from then to now. I always try to think about that. 32 years ago to now, how has it changed? First of all, I've changed. People change over 30 years. Are your fruit ready for harvesting in your southern house? I guess you missed the streams, and there are videos coming up, but yes, we have so many things growing now and that are being harvested. It's unreal. I mean, I brought back 5 limes, and we have 2 lime trees, and I just brought back 5 because I didn't feel like carrying them. But now I wish I do, because I made a couple drinks with them, and the limes are all gone. So I bought more limes here, and well, I'm taking a cheap 3 days for Songkran. So that's why I'm drinking a chocolate drink. Today's 2 for 1. So anyway, I always think about how things have changed. And the farm has changed. When I first went down there, her mother was alive. She was living at the farm, and the house was nowhere near what it is now, which is still, it's okay. But now, I mean, we have, oh God, we have pumpkin, we have durian, we have mango, we have jackfruit, we have papaya, we have peppers, we have cucumbers, we have tomatoes, we have mak, which is what people use for the betel nut. We have 2 big trees of those, 2 or 3 big trees. What else? Coconuts, pineapples, green beans, fish, chicken. Chicken are coming in 5 days. We're gonna have. I'm not sure if we're gonna have 100 or 200 chickens, but we'll have quite a few. So then we'll have eggs, and we'll have chickens. What else do we have? We got lettuce, we got spinach, we have sugar cane, we have palm oil, palm trees. We have many, many things. And I mean, I don't even know some of the stuff we have. And now we're thinking about, oh, thank you there, Retro Art. Okay, new opinion. I think the background noise get picked up and overpowering the high frequency. Mike, absolutely out of my control. Anyway, I avoid Songkran, like to play too many videos. Thank you very much. Please give Retro Art Studios a thumbs up. Well, she does have people working with her. And yes, you're probably right. Let me try something. There is no mic now. It's the onboard iPhone mic. Oh my God. Thank you, buddy Eddie. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Choke you to Retro Art. Yeah, we got onions. We got plenty of peppers. We got green peppers, red peppers, and hopefully in the near future we'll have some serrano peppers, which for some reason Billy has been crying about. He wants these serrano peppers. I told him, give me some seeds. We'll grow them. I'll grow them outside my house. We got a little area out there that we want to make into a garden. So we have all that stuff. So that's nice. So the house has changed. We've changed. I've changed. Everything's kind of changed. And I think eventually we may put a fence up around the whole property. We may try to buy the property behind us, and hopefully they'll sell and just put a fence around it because we don't want dogs coming in, messing with the chickens. We don't want people coming in, stealing stuff. We don't want any of this stuff. Thank you, Retro Art. Thanks again. Sounds better now. What is this? You got the toilet and plumbing installed. Well, that's been installed for quite some time. It's much better. Sometimes good mic are too good. Yeah, maybe. I think it was because those girls were so loud, but I don't know. I don't know what's been going on, but I'm telling you, yesterday I recorded about 20 sentences. You know, I had to divide it up and figure out when I wanted to read and do this and that for voiceover, and the mics worked fine. So I don't know. I'll have to check it out. I'll have to check it out when I go home. But anyway, yeah, we got a Western toilet, and then we want to make a 1-bedroom place. Wouldn't that be nice? I would love to electrify the fence, but I think there'd be dead animals everywhere. Put barbed wire on the top. You know, soundproof the house. But actually, we want to make a 1-bedroom in the back with aircon. One small room where you can put an end table and a light, and you have a closet where you put your clothes, the bed. Then you go out and there's a TV, and then we can screw in the TV if we want. That's nice. That's nice, Bob. Well, it'll be a man cave, and it'll also be a love shack, and it'll be my wife and I will have this place for us. No kids, unless we just want to watch TV together. There will be none of that. Because it's just, if you live in the country, it's a bit different than if you're living in like an apartment, you got your own room. Even you got your own room, you close the door, and, if there's anybody out on the sofa or in another room, hopefully you're separated or, you're not that noisy where they're going to hear everything. But when you're in a house and you got to have private space, it's like, the kids don't ever, they're just like, hey, I'm going to sleep here, and they don't care where they sleep. We booted them out a couple nights, hey there, Alpharetta Jim. What's happening? Let me see something. I don't know what happens. I lived in an old apartment before, and the neighbors were constantly pounding the roof because I walked around. So that sucks. Anyway, so things change, but that's just how it is. I'm fine with it. I have no desire to go to Nana Disco, Nana Plaza, Angels Disco, I guess. It used to be just flat out Nana Disco. I have no desire to go to Third Man. I have no desire to go to any of these places anymore. I just feel like I kind of feel out of my element. I mean, the last time I've been in a bar was about 3 years ago when I went with Jono, Billy, and Carnivore Chronicles. And we went to Pattaya, and we went to a couple of clubs in there. And it just, first of all, the girls are a little heavier and a little sloppier and a little more tattooed than they used to be. And I'm not looking for anything, so like it doesn't really matter to me. I'm just like, bunch of fat pigs in this place. And I'm telling you, we went into one place and there was a couple hundred girls. There's probably 150, 200 girls there. And there was only like 2 or 3 that were halfway decent looking. And the rest were pigs. And, guys were just, oh my God. And I'm like, oh my God. Anyway, so I've learned a couple of things over the years. And like one of them Thai women are just like any other decent women. And that is, they want a successful man and they want love. And being a successful man usually means you have enough money to take care of your needs. And your needs and some wants. And the trick is to find a woman who has modest means, not extravagant ones. If you meet a chick and she goes, "Are you going to buy me, that Gucci bag for $8,000?" It's like, listen, I don't want to be with that kind of a chick. The high maintenance type. I don't want to be with that kind of a woman. And maybe that's what some people should aspire to. Oh, thank you. Any expats want to trade the market? Send them my way. Okay. Find a woman that has modest expectations, low maintenance. Yes. Like a heavy set Thai auntie? No. Now, another thing that I have learned, and I think that guys just don't really realize it. Either you're going to be older and you're going to pay a stipend to the women that you're with, to the woman that you're with, or women, whatever it is, you're going to pay a stipend or stipends to these women. So they're on the payroll. And that is not love. That is not, now maybe you can trust them and everything is great. Who knows? But if you want like a real, like a relationship with a chick that, she's your ride or die, you know, um, and you can have a great time with her and you're friends and you trust her, she's not going to rip you off, which is hard to find. Uh, then if you're 65 years old, some little 20-year-old is not going to go, okay, no problem, papa. No problem, grandpapa. What is it in Thai? I forget. It's ya puta. Forget. Um, and what I've said all along from the very beginning is don't ever get involved with a Thai woman unless you can speak Thai and modicum of Thai, and that you know the culture a little bit, and that's going to take you a good solid year. Don't get involved with them. That's all. Unless there's some chick who's been living in the United States for 10, 15 years. She speaks perfect English, and even then, you need to know the Thai culture so you can understand what they're saying, what they're talking about, what people around you are talking about with them, maybe their parents, things like that. You need to know these things. I've said this for years. If you don't speak the language, and you don't know anything about Thailand, if you don't know the culture, a fair bit about the culture. And, what's funny is I know a fair bit. That's what I'll say. I don't know everything. There's a lot I don't know. And I've been here half my life. My kids know more than me because they're indoctrinated with it from the time they go to school. Um, they go to school and they learn everything in school. They're around their friends. They're speaking Thai. So they're they're in it. Now I'm in it, but in a different way. I'm in it as from the perspective of a Westerner. And yes, if a chick is modest, first of all, she may never go to the United States. Ever. Now, that brings me up on another subject. My wife has to go to the Dominican Republic, of all places, for some reason. There's a convention or some kind of a hotel thing going on there. And so she said to me, why don't we go to the U.S. on the way or on the way back or whatever? We go to Dominican, to the DR. So we're looking into it. She's going to go for sure. I mean, she has to go. Listen, I've flown all the way to, where the hell was it? What was the name of it? I can't even remember. Guyana, British Guyana. 45 hours of flying. That sucked. But this, we can get to Miami depending on how things go. But it looks like we may fly to Vancouver to Miami, right? We stop for a day or two there. Then we go to the DR for about 4 or 5 days. Then we come back and we stay in Miami for maybe a week, something like that. But we have to verify everything. It's going to take a couple of days because she has to talk to her boss and blah, 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 blah. I'm not looking to get citizenship in the DR, all right? I'm not looking to stay there. It's just not going to happen. I mean, I can go there and love it, but you know what? If I'm there for 5 days and I go, oh my God, this place is awesome, doesn't mean I'm going to give up Thailand. There's too many great places that you can stay in Thailand to go to the DR. I just wouldn't do it. It's like, oh, I'm going to go live in Cuba. Not going to happen. It ain't going to happen. Anyway, so we may be going, I may be going, sometime in the next, say, 3 months or so. Oh, the other thing that I learned, and I learned this from the Chowderhead videos a long time ago. Don't give advice because nobody really listens. They'll ask for your advice, but if your advice doesn't match what people want to think is their path, they will not follow it. So that's something else that I've learned over the years. And the other one is that you can focus on the positive or you can focus on the negative. A lot of people focus on the negative. The choice is yours. But think about it. If you're back in the U.S. and you're focusing on the negative, what makes you think you're going to focus on the positive when you come to Thailand? I mean, really. The people who really fail here are the ones who are stubborn. They refuse to change. They're here because they're chasing some kind of a fantasy. They want their subservient Thai woman who waits on them hand and foot and kisses their ass no matter what they do. They don't have a lot of money, and they think just because they're American that everybody's looking at them and they're the best. That's just bullshit, all of it. So you need to have a somewhat positive attitude. Now, sometimes I can be negative, I admit it. But I try to do it in a constructive manner. There's usually a reason for it. Now, the other day, I sent out for something, I forget what it was, from Grab. And the guy started calling me and saying, I don't know where you are. I said, listen, you just go here and go there. And it's very easy. You take a left and a right and a left and blah, 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 blah. You go down here. My kid will be standing out in front of the house. Okay. And then, like he called like 3 times. He couldn't find. Oh, I can't find it. I don't know. Where are you telling me to go? And I just go, oh my God. And he's like, do you want me to go to the mall Bangkok? And I go, no. That's not our house. So finally he comes to the house. And my kid, you're welcome. My kid is talking to him. And the kid goes, oh, he's mad at you because he doesn't like how you told him to get here. And I said, well, maybe he should learn how to read a map. And then I said, I'm very sorry. You got here. Everything's good. There's no problems. Swati cop, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, I was trying to come here and I couldn't find it. And I just go to my kid, I go, listen, you tell him this. And I mean, I could speak Thai to him. There was no problem, but he wasn't listening. So I tell my kid, I said, listen, no other Grab drivers have a problem. They come here because the address is on the map. You follow the map, you get right to here. If he had a problem, I sent him where the house was. I sent it to him through Google Maps. He still couldn't get here. And I just went, listen, I got to go inside. I can't deal with this guy. So my kid is like, kissing his ass. And I'm like, I'm not kissing his ass. I'm sorry. You fuck up, then you're a fuck up. And, I don't feel the need, Thai culture or not, to kiss his ass. I tried to be nice. I said, hey, listen, it's too bad that you couldn't get here. It's really, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. I'm trying to make it seem like it's not his fault so that he saves face, blah, blah, blah. And he's a young kid. But he's like, and I just went, I'm out of here. And I walked inside, and that was the end of that. And then my kid's like, this guy was just like, he's all over the place. And I said, well, maybe who knows, maybe he's using the Yaba. I don't know, the other thing here is relationships. Let's not forget about those. Some guys come here for relationships. Many guys come here because they think, I'm going to come here, I'll see a little bit of Thailand, and I'll be getting laid every night. I'll have a couple girls a day. And then, some of them, they end up falling in love, and they never learn. They never learn. Oh, she's leaving. The loud one. They never seem to learn. Now, having a partner, it does change things because it gives your life some structure, some consistency, and a connection. And if you want to kind of get in the right stream, I guess you could say, to where you're living a decent life. You can have it without women, of course. But I personally, when I was younger, I had the energy to run around and have, 5 girls on the hook. I get 10 phone numbers. I'd call 4 or 5 of them. 3 of them would want to go out, and then I'm dating all of them at the same time, and I'm banging 2 of them, and and then you're trying not to let each other know about, let one know about the other, and you're trying to keep it on the down low, and got no patience for that, So what you don't want to do is end up hitting the bars every night, and that becomes your main focus. Hitting the bars and finding a hot chick. Well, you could do that for a few months. You do that, and you go, all right, it's time to mellow out. If you have the right interaction and emotional stability, whether you're single or not, then you actually build a life here. And I don't know many single guys, truly single guys, who are building a life. And if they are, they've got girls on the payroll. They do have girls on the payroll. 9:44, it never fails, every single day for years. At 9:44, they play this song. Crazy. So what I'm wondering is, how many of you are here? How many of you are in the U.S.? How many plan to get here? And what are you planning on doing? Because if you're older and you're single, yeah, you can get yourself, if you're 65 years old, you can probably get yourself a nice, maybe if you're lucky, 35 or 40-year-old, 45-year-old, But then you want a woman who's got kids because she's probably got kids. Personally, my wife is 14 years younger than me, and I've been with her for almost 30 years. At 40, you still have a chance because you can be with somebody who's in their 20s, pretty easily. But once you start getting, listen, I notice I don't get the looks that I used to get when I was single, had hair, I was thinner, I was in better shape. I don't get the same looks. That's just how it works. Colorado. Ooh. I personally wouldn't want to live in Colorado. And I know it's very beautiful there and everything like that, but I just wouldn't really want to do that. I'm in Alabama. I have a gorgeous woman already, but I want to come to Thailand for the car culture. Okay. I guess that's a different kind of reason. I came here for Muay Thai. Uh, and, I quickly found out that I was decent, but I wasn't good enough. They were some of the guys were toying with me. I'm like, this guy's 20 years old. I'm 32, and this guy's playing with me like it's nothing. And I just went, oh God. And I did fight, but I knew right away, hey, I can't fight at an elite level. When I come to Thailand, she'll be with me. Okay, well that's good. Florida isn't an affordable alternative. Well, I've heard that. My parents live in Florida, and you know, I know what my wife can make. I'm not going to work. I got Social Security and I got money, so uh, and what she could earn would be better than here. But she does pretty well here, and the difference, if you're in the United States, and let's say you make 150K, well, you can have a halfway decent life. But if you're here and you're making 120K, you can have a fantastic life. You know, I heard that marrying an Asian girl means marrying her family too. Well, that's kind of funny. I guess it depends on who you marry and what kind of girl she is. It can be true, yes. Is it true in my life? No, definitely not. And I would say I'm lucky. I don't think that it was because I'm so smart. I mean, yes, I am smart. I didn't do anything. I mean, I was involved with a lot of women before I got married. But I never thought to myself, okay, let's tie the knot, let's get married. And I didn't even think, okay, I'm so in love with this girl. Oh, I want to be with her forever. I just didn't feel like that. And I wasn't in a big hurry to get married. You know. So when I did finally do that, it was kind of like, well, she was definitely not like, oh, you can be with all kinds of other women if you want. That shit stopped. It was like, if you want to be with me, we're a couple. That's how it works. She was like, I want a family. I want this. And I started thinking about it, and I thought, I could go the way I'm going, which was not necessarily on a great path. It was okay, but I was drinking too much, partying too much, doing all kinds of things that they might have led to me getting in trouble. And I just thought it was the smart move. But not everybody needs to get married. I don't think that that's the answer for everybody. Because if you come to Thailand, the thing that you have to remember is that if your girl dumps you or anything like that, you are relying upon yourself. There's no safety net. You know, you might have a couple of friends and they might go, oh, you can sleep on the couch until you find a place. Okay, great. But nobody's going to save you. Nobody's going to say, okay, don't worry about it. I'm going to take care of things for the next couple of months until you get on your feet. That doesn't happen. You don't have unemployment here that's going to take care of you. And you're either building a life or you're kind of drifting and not really doing much. And I don't know, that gets to be a bit of a bummer after a while. Yes, like, subscribe, and super chat. Thank you. The thing that makes Thailand worth it is like what I just said. If you're making, say, 100 grand, your life here is going to be fantastic. If you're making 150 or 200,000 in the U.S., yeah, you can have a good life. Depends on where you're living. If you're living in the middle of the country, you're living in Tennessee somewhere, Mississippi, you know, that money's going to go a long ways. But if you're living in, say, New York or, say, in Florida, Miami, or somewhere like that, Chicago, L.A., that money's going to be eaten up. And if you're smart, it won't be, but, you know. What's the expat community like? Oh, good chance. Oh, my God. Dude, I think you need to watch some videos for a while and some live streams, and you'll get a better idea of what it's like, because I can tell you that not all the expats are good gents. Yeah, what are you, a bot? I mean, really. Well, listen, I'll tell you something. We've been talking about getting a house for many years, and we haven't. And I'm like, you're paying $200 a month to rent the place, and granted, the house it's old now, but yeah, I don't really hang out in the expat community. You know, I mean, there are some guys I see in the other day. I saw my British friend. A couple of days before that, I saw the guy from Oregon. You know, I see guys every once in a while, and there are a couple of people like Jono, Billy, when he's here. He's not here now, but Jono, I'll call him up. Hey, let me come over. Let's go get a coffee or get something to eat or something like that. But when it comes to Thais, the number of Thai friends that I have, I will say, has dwindled over the years. I have friends from the gym, but the number of friends that I've had over the years, I had a couple of friends that I was involved with in boxing. And as soon as I said, I'm out of boxing, I don't want anything to do with it unless I'm making money. I need to be making money. And I did try to make some money at it. And it was like hit or miss. And guys are always trying to screw you around. Oh, yeah, this is my guy. No, it's not your guy. Because I checked. I did my research, and it's not your guy. Right? It's somebody else's guy you're trying to play off and get me involved with so that maybe I get in trouble after he has a fight and makes his money. So there are things like that going on. And I just went, I'm done. And, there's one guy in particular, great friend of mine, while we were working together for the 10, 12 years we were working together. As soon as I left, I've never heard from him. I saw him one time at a fight. We went to a fight because our mutual Filipino friend had a fighter that was fighting, and we went to watch him fight for the title. And other than that, I have never seen him after that. I don't know what he's doing, where he is, or anything like that. And dude, I think you need to wake up. You make no sense. A lot of American girls are on drugs. Okay. Well, then you're looking in the wrong place, my friend. Okay? Seriously. Anyway, sometimes friends come and go. I have some friends in the United States who have been my friends for 44 years. From the time I came to California. Hey, thanks, bud. Scott, how do you mention Mississippi and Tennessee but leave out your neighbor Alabama? I'm sorry. I mean, yeah, Alabama too. I mean, I grew up in Florida. I used to go to Georgia and Alabama and Tennessee and Mississippi. I used to go all through there. I used to go up to the Carolinas. We go up and go sightseeing and do all kinds of stuff. And I loved it there. Now, it's just, been there, done that. I don't need to go again and see all kinds of things. I just don't. And a lot of what I like now is from different parts of the world. Well, I think you need to be careful of ties also, but I do think that a lot of people you have to be careful of are the foreigners. Jim, I don't know where he is now, but Jim in Chayaboom, he said it to me because I told him, I said, listen, you got all these friends in Chayaboom. What's going to happen is after a while, you're not going to have them anymore. You'll see. And he was like, oh, I don't know about that. After a couple of months, he's like, I don't know how many he said he had, but he had a bunch of, he said, all my friends turn out to be, a lot of my friends, so-called friends, they turn out to be people I wouldn't hang out with if I was living back in the U.S. and working and I had a job. I wouldn't hang out with them at all. Only a couple of them are really my friends, and that's what happens. I've got another friend. He lives in Cambodia now. He used to live here. He lived here for 30 years or so. No, not 30, maybe 26. He's a good friend of mine. Jono, Billy. There's a handful of people that are my friends here. But when it comes to ties, I have about 2 friends. I don't know how people communicate on YouTube. Well, some are not all that nice sometimes. Some are a little bit passive aggressive, and some are just completely fucked up. And I don't really care, honestly. That's something else I've learned, and I wish I knew this when I was, say, 18 years old or something like that, even younger than that. And that is that what other people think about you is really none of your business. It just doesn't matter. The only thing is, if your mother thinks you're a piece of shit, then you better worry about it. But like, if somebody off the internet says, "Oh, well, you're this and you're that," listen, I've had people go, "Oh, you're one of those Trumpers. Oh, you're one of these. Oh, you're one of those," and I'm like, listen, buddy. I don't give a flying fuck about what's going on right now. And I don't mean to sound flippant. I do care what's going on in the U.S. and what's going on in the world. And, I do care. But I don't care that much because there's not much I can do about it. So I put myself in the best possible position I can, which is I got a place here. We got a place in the South. And we're going to have another place in the South. And if anything happens, we got plenty of food on the farm. We got plenty of water there. We got just about everything that we need. So if it really got that bad, first of all, we would not be in a position where it is a strategic area to attack. So I'm not really that worried. All All right, here comes the influx. Here comes the procession. Hey, I only need 2 more super chats, and I reach my goal for the first time in, I don't know, a couple of months. Yeah, I think the world is pretty much going to shit. Thailand has a way. Thailand has oil, but it's not enough oil. It's not enough oil where they can say, we don't need anybody else's oil. World going to pot. I don't want to get into this trading shit. Does Thailand have oil? I'm asking for a friend. You sound kind of like somebody else I know. Like I said, they don't have very much. As a U.S. citizen, if everyone did what benefits their family and stopped voting with trends, most things would be sorted out. Probably. Pot is good. Ever see a stoner get nasty and aggressive like you do with drunks? There is something to be said for that. The only thing is, I can tell you, I was a huge pot smoker back when I was 16 to about 32 before I came here. Maybe not 32, maybe 30. And in the years that I was using, it was back when, it was Colombian gold, Acapulco gold. That was strong. It was nowhere near what it is now. Now, a couple of years ago, I partook a little bit. I was eating edibles, and I would maybe get a joint or 2 joints or something like that. And I didn't like it. I was like, I just don't like it. I don't like the way it makes me feel. I just didn't like it. Didn't like it at all. Did not like it at all. So, Scott should make a real talk trade super chat. I don't know enough about them to really talk about them. I know about mutual funds and stocks and things like that, bonds, but I don't know about trading on a day. I don't know about being a day trader. Not going to fall for that scam. Oh, it's a scam, is it? Is that what it is? It's a scam? Jesus Christ. If it's a scam, you don't have to partake in any of it. Believe me. It doesn't make a difference to me. Honestly. All it does is throw a little more money that I can use to spend on the channel or go in places or something like that. I think I had enough of you. Bye-bye. See ya. I haven't had to do that in a long time. When he starts calling super chats a scam, that's just funny. I mean, you don't have to give me a super chat, whatever. I don't need the money that bad. Short time frames are like flipping a coin. It's better to swing trade if you have too much. Yeah, whatever. If you got a little extra scratch and you want to give, well, I appreciate it. It's very nice. I've given a few super chats, but I've given people so in GoFundMe and things like that. There would be some people I knew, and I helped them out. And I mean, I think it's nice to help people sometimes, but with me, I understand I'm doing this all the time, and not everybody wants to give. So it is what it is. That's how it is. But I would like to hit my goal. I mean, I won't say that I don't want to, because it would be nice to hit it for once. I got 3 out of 5. I need another 2 more. Anyway, let's get back to this. Let's not talk only about money, because that's another thing in Thailand that people, they don't seem to understand. A lot of people think, oh, the Tigers, all they want is money. Everything is money, and they'll be fine. No, some of them, that's not all they want. I can tell you that. Okay? I can tell you that because I've been involved with some who didn't only want money. They wanted of you. You better give of yourself to where they see it, and it's an actual relationship, instead of give me your money and everything will be fine. And I mean, I can tell you, I've been with my with my wife for almost 30 years. There were a couple of times. I remember one time when we first met. I mean, this is probably in the first year, and something happened, and all of a sudden I went. I had like $15,000-$20,000, and then all of a sudden I had like almost nothing, and I was like, oh shit, I need to figure something out. And I started eating macaroni and cheese and eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and stuff like that. And she stuck with me. Some are not going to stick with you. Some are going to be. I've had a few who said. One girl said to me a long time ago, and I liked her. She liked me. She goes, "Listen, I really like you, but when you get yourself a house and you've got a kitchen and a big bedroom and all these kind of things." Thank you very much. There you go. That's 4 out of 5, baby. Give them a thumbs up and a like and a heart if you can. And she told me, she said, when you get all these things, give me a call. And I was like, and I actually did give her a call later on because I got my shit together. There you go. There you go. Well, thank you very much. Go. Oh, yes, he scores. Goal achieved. Hey, man, that doesn't happen very often. That's pretty awesome. I appreciate that, guys. What are you trading? Make a few grand in minutes. Easy scalping futures. I've been studying charts for years and know the structure, brother. Disagreeing with my statement just shows your lack of knowledge, brother. Oh, God. All right. Well, you guys can debate all that whatever you want to debate. You can debate that on here. I don't really care. I'm telling you about something different. And one thing is about how not only does Thailand not give a fuck about you, but sometimes the women don't give a fuck how much money you have. They just look at you as an arrogant prick. I think somebody who's smarter, they use their money as a tool, and I don't mean as a tool to scam a woman or to get some chick under your thumb. I mean, you use the money for whatever. Women don't come first. And that's something that they just don't understand. Money doesn't come first, and women doesn't come first. Being successful comes first. And that's something that I don't know about. Like, guys just don't get it. The women are not first. You come here in Thailand, oh my God, she's so beautiful. She's my dream girl. You're just playing into a fan. No, thank you. You're just playing into a fantasy. Thank you once again. I don't always super chat, but I really like the content. I appreciate you read everything, not just our super chats. Oh, okay. Well, I try because I think it's important, people are heard. That's what it is. It's interactive. it's interactive. And this is the only time I get to interact, because if I don't want to, I won't stream. I'll just do videos. And then I get comments, and I sometimes interact with those. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I don't want to interact with anybody. I don't want to say anything. There are certain things that people say, and I just go, I'm not gonna respond. In Japan, men come first and females come second, or maybe not at all. Well, I'm not Japanese. That's what I'll say. I'm not Japanese, just like I'm not Thai. I don't do everything the Thai way. I do try to think like them. How would a Thai do this? How would a Thai respond? Listen, yesterday I'm walking along, and this girl who was probably, she probably weighed about 300 pounds. Where I'm walking, and she's walking herself with some lady, and she she ran into me hard. And I was like, oh, shit, stunned me. And I was like ready. I was thinking to myself, I'm gonna crack this person. And I turn and look, and it's this girl. And she said, sorry. I'm like, my lie. It's all right. Don't worry about it, honey. What are you gonna do? Even if it was a guy, yes, she was Thai. Even if it was a guy, I would have been like, okay, no problem. It wasn't intentional. If it's not intentional, what are you gonna get all bent out of shape? Even if it is intentional, you walk away. You know. Oh God. I think I need to start a trading platform for you guys. Now, another thing, and this is so easy. No Thai woman worth her salt would say to you, my phone is broken. Can you buy me a new phone? You just met her, and she's going, oh, buy me a new phone. Oh, my Buffalo's got problems. I need to buy a new one. Mama and Papa, they sick. I need money. When you hear that, run. Run as fast as you can. You know, what do you need to go through all that? And, Thais are like anybody else. They like money. They go after money. They hunt money. They search money. They try to find money. There's no real surprise in that. I mean, people love money. So the challenge is to find the differences between one that flat out is after your money and another one who money is simply part of the equation of life. Hey, listen, I got to pay my rent this month. I've got to go buy some food. Well, you got to have money, right? That's the difference between a girl who goes, you give me 50,000, you give me 100,000 every month, I stay with you. Who wants that? I don't know if any of you guys remember, but do you remember the guy was Israeli? He was like an old hippie from like the 60s. That's how he dressed and looked. And he was a nice guy. Okay? I mean, I had spoken to him for quite some time, talked to him a few times. He got consultations from me. He was, I don't know what his deal was, but he was living in Canada. He had some wife in Canada that had a medical issue, and he couldn't have sex with her, or he wasn't having sex with her because she wasn't well enough, and blah, 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 blah. So he would come to Thailand, and he would have sex for like a month with all these women. But he met a Thai girl in Pattaya, of all places, which, just think about something. When you say to your friends and to your family, Oh, where did you meet her? Oh, I met her in Pattaya. Even if it's in the bank somewhere, they're going to be like, you think about it. Oh, I met her at the Rock Hard a Go Go. You know, whatever it might be. Marine Go Go. I don't know. That always turned me off because people know about Pattaya. Men need to make the woman the accoutrement, not the main course. If a woman makes your life better, if she helps your life and helps you become better, then that's what you need. You don't need a woman who's dragging you down because she needs money for this and money for that and money for this and money for that. You know, and then you're going, oh, where'd all my money go? Oh, well, my uncle fell for that crap in the Philippines. And the thing with the Philippines, the Filipino girls, they speak English, most of them. So, you know, why are you getting fooled? You know what they want? They want to do the George Jefferson. Find a girl who's working. She makes money. She supports herself. She doesn't need you. She's only with you because she wants to be with you. You know, Pattaya is full of fools and people who are dreamers. And what's funny is out of all the people, a large percent of them, they go home. And even the expats, most of them, if they're involved in the bar life, most of them, not all of them, but most of them, after a few years, they're going home, they're going somewhere. Oh, Thailand wasn't for me. You know, that kind of thing. Well, you know, that's a different issue. But you know, some people I think they just get tired of being beaten down by life, and then what are they going to do? You know, they're like, oh, I can't take any more of this, and then that's it. Oh, now, I got to say that I saw a guy. I don't know when it was, a year or two ago, crying about how his girl took his bar in Pattaya. Now, the wife's property is in the wife's name. My name's not on the property, and I don't care. It's not my property. Now, we say it's ours, but she makes all. I don't care. It makes no difference. And if we go buy a house, now my name will be on the deed, but if anything ever happens, I go, eh, she's got the house, she got the kid, the kids, they always got a place to stay. Am I worried? No, I'm not worried at all. And after almost 30 years, do I really think that she's like playing the long game? No, I don't. I don't think she's after me for the long score or whatever. So, you know, you have to think about it in that context where how long do you know this person? How long have you been with this person? How much do you really trust them? How much do you really know them? And, you know, do they make your life better or are they just draining you? No Thai woman anywhere worth her salt would meet you and within, say, a couple of days or a couple of weeks say to you, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't have money. Oh, I need money for this. I need money for that. No, honey, you got a job. I had a girl once ask me for 50,000 baht. Okay, this is many years ago. She asked me for 50K. Now, that's not that much money. I mean, really, it's not that much. But that's what she expects. That I think it's not that much money. It's within my range. If she was to say, I want 500,000, I might tell her, are you nuts? Well, I told her, are you nuts for 50,000? I said, wait a minute, you got a good job. You're making 50,000 a month. What are you asking me for money for? Well, I just need it because I don't have the money right now. I said, well, then maybe you need to get a loan. Not from me, but you need to get a loan. And she didn't want to. And she never talked to me again. And I was like, okay, good. I'm glad you don't talk to me anymore because you didn't get the money. I only got taken once when I first came here. And, I had this girl and I gave her 10,000 baht because supposedly her kid was in the hospital. And, I didn't think the same way. I didn't think, oh, well, she better have a job. She better have her shit together. She doesn't need me, all these things. She should be university educated. I didn't think any of these things. I'm just thinking about, getting between her legs and continuing to be between her legs. And so she was crying about it. And I said, well, get them to send me the bill. Oh, yeah, okay. I gave her the money, the 10,000. And she came back to me. She goes, oh, yeah, I think it's like 25,000. And I said, you think? And I said, listen, I'm not Papa. I'm not the father of this kid. Yeah, he doesn't pay any money. I said, well, then why should I? And then she wouldn't get, I said, have the hospital fax you, this went back when the fax machines were around, fax you the bill, and then show me the bill. And she wouldn't do it. And I went, not going to do it, honey. It's not going to work. So I didn't give her any more money. And that was the only money that I've ever gotten taken for. And if you just remember, if you want to hook up with one, okay, if you're going to hook up with one and you don't really care if she stays, if you see her or whatever, then just bang her. Fucking go. That's how it works. But if you want her to be somebody, then basically she needs to be capable of fending for herself. Now, the last question really that I have. Well, I was talking about this guy who lost his bar to some chick. I don't know what happened of it. I have no idea. Okay. Well, what I always say is that, listen, you're going to give her $1,000. Why don't you give me $1,000 and I'll give you some advice. We'll sit for an hour or two and I'll give you some advice. And of course, they're like, oh, no, I wouldn't do that. No, but you'll throw her some money because you want a little bit of snapper. Well, I think the whole idea of a optional job is that you want the time. Oh my God. Dude, you don't need to be traveling. If you think Tokyo's an intimidating city, you don't even need to travel, buddy. And why don't you fly to Vancouver and then from Vancouver fly to Thailand? Look it up. Seriously. If you think Tokyo is a place that's intimidating, oh my God. do you come up with this stuff? Are you joking? Are you joking me? I thought you were a man of the world. Anyway, I would appreciate, as we close on the hour and a half now, I would appreciate if you guys would click the thumbs up, because we've had about 40 people in the stream, and I got 13 thumbs up. Now I'm appreciative of all the donations. That's very nice. I appreciate that. But the thumbs up, supposedly they help. I don't really know, and quite frankly, at the end of the day, if you click the thumbs up, I appreciate it. If you don't, oh well, you know. How come this is not? There we go. I watched a very seasoned traveler who struggled with it, just getting out of the train station. He went from the airport. He couldn't find his way out. Oh, God. Well, sorry to hear that. But let me tell you this. I sent my kid to Tokyo about a year ago, a year and a half ago. He went to Tokyo by himself. He doesn't speak Japanese. He'd never been to Japan. He can't read Japanese. And he made it just fine. And he stayed there for like 10 days. And he saw Tokyo Sam when he was there. Went out with Tokyo Sam. Did a couple of things. But he found his way just fine on the train, and, you know, there was no problems. So, really. My son loves Japan. He's into Japan. He's into Japanese rock music. He's into all kinds of things. But he wants to go back. he's pissed. He's pissed because he's like, I got to get another job. And if I get another job, I'm going to take some time off and go to Tokyo. I've been to Tokyo many times. It's been a while, but I've been there many times. I went there and covered the old Pride fighting. He just went because he wanted to go. He wanted to go see Japan. So he did. He's going to go back. I don't know when, but he's going to go back. He's got plenty of money now. He doesn't, I mean, Jesus Christ. You know, he lives with us so he can save his money. So if he wants to take a trip to Japan, we'll pay for his. He rode the bullet train. He did everything he could. He had it good. Now, he wasn't staying in a 5-star establishment. He was staying in like a capsule or a hostel or something. I forget what it was. I think it was a hostel. I don't understand it. I mean, I like Japan. Yeah, I like Japan. You know, I've always liked it. It's expensive. It can be expensive if you don't know how to spend your money there. You know, I mean, I went there and it was like $80 a night for like a business hotel, which I thought was really good. I stayed there for about 10 days. And what was funny is I had a laptop, and the laptop broke down about like the day after I got there. And the staff down below at the counter said, "Oh, do you need a laptop?" And I said, "Well, yeah, can I rent one, or, you know, what can I do?" "Oh, no problem. We let you use one. Just give it back to us when you're done." I'm like, okay. So I had a laptop to use the whole time I was there. It was so great, man. They were so good to me. There's a lot of amazing spots there. Osaka's a place that I'd like to go just because of the whole centenarian thing there. And that's something I'm looking into a lot more now. And I've been buying things like beans and uh, Greek yogurt and all this kind of stuff, trying to cut down on the meat intake and fish intake and all this other stuff, so that maybe I'll live a little longer. You know, hopefully I won't be shitting myself. You know, yeah, courteous people. That's the thing. You don't really have to worry about if you set something down and turn your back for a second. You turn around and it's gone. Somebody stole it and they scampered off. That doesn't happen very often. It's not like in the United States where there's opportunities all over the place. And even in Thailand, there are in some areas, but for the most part, the Thais are great. I leave my stuff laying around, and I know nobody's going to steal it. You know. Yeah, so I love Japan, and he was so happy that he got to go. And he's going to be really sad if we go to the DR and he can't go, and my other kid's not going either. Listen, I've always had good experiences in Japan, and even getting on the train, the people were cool. I didn't have any problems getting on the train. There was none of this, nobody elbowing me or grabbing my ass or anything like that. You know, I didn't have any problems. I love Japan. I've been there, I don't know, 4 or 5 times. Yeah, I've been there multiple times. And like I said, one time I covered the Pride event. Oh, I was going to all these nice hotels, and I'm up with all these some of these guys were massive. Some of the like Fedor was massive. He was a big dude, and I've been to Singapore 20 times. These, that's just bullshit. I never had that problem. I don't know. I mean, I like the food. I like the way that the people are courteous and they don't fuck with you. I like that. I like peace. I like peacefulness. I didn't stay in Roppongi. You know. Yeah, to me, they were fine. So that's all I'll say. Anecdotal evidence. They've been great with me. I mean, I never had a problem on the train. I rode the train probably 10 times. I never had a problem. More than that, 10 times 2. So I probably took 20 trips on the train. I never had a problem ever. And in fact, what I really liked was I liked their whole phone setup, and they had their shit together with their phones. That's what I really liked. I've been to Taiwan, yes, only for like 3 days, but 3 days and 2 nights. My wife loves Taiwan. She really, really likes it. And I'm like, I can't. And even Chuck, some of you remember Chuck. Chuck's always talking about, I want to live in Taiwan part-time, Thailand part-time, and America part-time. I'm like, what do you want to live in Taiwan for, man? I don't know what it is. I just don't want to be there. Just like Singapore, I don't want to be there. In Singapore, what I didn't like, and it may have changed, but I don't think so. What I didn't really like is that I would be in a bar, sitting there, and all you hear is people talking about business. There were chicks there, and I'd be like, oh my God, she's so hot. That one looks great. Oh. And these guys are like going, oh yeah, if Mr. Joe doesn't get the report in by tomorrow, it's going to be kaputs for him. And That happened all the time. And the guy that we worked with, oh my God, he was such a pussy whip. He was just a pussy whip guy, man. You know, you'd say, where you going, man? Oh, I got to go pick up my wife. And I go, what time? 1:30. I'm like, dude, it's 1 o'clock. How long is it going to take you to get there? Like 20 minutes. But if I'm late, she's going to get mad. I'm like, you got a phone. You just message. I'm on the way, honey. You might be early. You know, and it just bugged me. She was totally the boss. And then what was funny is that I took this Singaporean girl out because I had to hire her. And we're having some food. And she said to me, don't you know that in Singapore, Singaporean women take care of all the money and they're the boss? And I just looked her straight in the eye and I go, do you think you're going to be the boss of me? Do you think you'd ever be my boss? And she didn't know what to say. And I'm like, listen, we can be equal if that's what it takes on some occasions. But like, I'm not going to be under my wife, or that just doesn't happen. Now, when it's something that is my wife's, I let her take the reins. Hey, she does whatever she wants to do. But once I start getting involved, then it becomes a different dynamic. Taipei, it really helps having a friend. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't there long enough to really experience it the way that I should. You know, oh, God, I couldn't have married her, man. I couldn't have married her. I don't know, man. The Singaporeans they rub me the wrong way. They're too rigid, And I know that behind closed doors is different, but still, they're just too. They're not fun loving enough. They're not like they don't laugh enough. I don't know. Anyway, I had several experiences in Singapore, and then I left, and then I haven't been back. It's been years since I've been there, and I don't want to go back. I don't really care. What do I got to go back for? What am I going to get out of the place? Nothing. There's nothing I want from there. I don't want to go to the casinos. I don't want to go to all the parks and things like that. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I've been to many of them. I've been to Indonesia to many places. I've been to Borneo in Indonesia. I've been to, it's like sometimes I look at a place and I go, I've been somewhere like that, so I'll go somewhere else. I want to go somewhere different. I mean, listen, I'm not super excited about going to the Dominican Republic if I go there. But what I will say is that I'm not against it. I'll go just for the experience. And I'm sure I'll find it quite beautiful and everything like that. And some of the people might be nice, but I'll be guarded. I mean, I'm not going to be there long enough to like let myself open up and to meet all kinds of Dominicans and hang out with them and party. It's not going to happen. So, anyway, Scott wears the pants. Well, much of the time. I took my son to Universal Studios in Singapore. He loved it. Good for a short visit. Yeah, Singapore is very good for a short visit. You want to go for like 4 days? It's great. You can go shopping. You can go to you can go to the casino. Uh, you know, you can go to say Universal Studios. You can go to all kinds of places. But to stay there, I knew a guy who stayed there. You know what he told me? A British guy, and he was a good friend of mine. I mean, I still consider him a good friend. I just don't talk to him all that often because he doesn't live in Singapore anymore. And he told me, he said, I like Singapore. People are all right. He said it's a great place to work and put money away. But as far as the lifestyle, he's like, it's lacking. it just doesn't have, it doesn't really have what I need. And so he moved back to the UK with his family. And I think he completely got out of the business he was in. He's a journalist. That's how I knew him. We were journalists. We worked together. He would work for the bank. He would write for the Bangkok Post, and I would submit photos to them, and he would get the photos published. So Well, thank you very much. I had one guy question. First of all, he made a comment about my accent when I speak Thai. Which, listen, the Thais don't have a problem with it, and I never said that I speak perfect Thai. So if I have any accent at all I can say is my Thai works. People understand me here very easily. The other thing he said was, "You've only got two boys, and they were in international school, and they studied here and studied there. They did this and they did that, but you don't really know about the rest. Maybe you don't know about the other parts of the country, when it comes to the education system." And I'm like, are you kidding me? Really? I've been here 32 years. I got friends all over the place who had children in public schools. I know how it works. I have a good idea how it works. You know what I mean? Like, I'm able to speak on that, not just about my kids. I saw what my kids went through, okay? But I also saw what a lot of other kids went through, you know. I like all the trees around Singapore and the efficiency. It's a city within a park. Yeah, it is nice. It's nice. You get to the airport, boom, you get in a nice taxi. They take you straight in, or you take the train or whatever. It's very nice. It's very efficient. But as far as fun and environmental lifestyle kind of thing, it just, to me, it was lacking. How much did you actually study Thai or just picked up from being there? Well, I studied 20 hours plus 40 hours. Plus, everything comes from being here. And I'm not one of these people who's scared to speak Thai, even if I speak incorrectly. And I've had people tell me, oh, you don't want to say it that way. You want to see it another way. And I don't remember a lot of words sometimes. I always forget helmet, which I forgot it right now. And I remembered it yesterday, and then I forgot it. That happens. As it should be. Yes, you need a local expat friend. You get very lonely. Will probably leave your expat location. Well, yeah, we all got to have friends. We all got to have friends here. That was R.E. Scott wears the pants. Well, at the end of the day, I do. Yeah, sterile is a good word. Really, it's a good word. That's an apt description. And lacking excitement, yes, it lacks excitement. I mean, you could go to some fight or something like that. Yeah, okay. When I was there, we put on the first fight that had been there for like 50 years. The casino hadn't gone up yet. I was staying in the Ritz Carlton or the Carlton, I forget what it was. But I was staying there, and it was happening. Well, listen, I mean, you don't have to be a prick. You want to wear the pants in the family, you just be a man. I mean, and sometimes my wife will start talking to me and she'll go, "Let me speak. I want to get this point across." And I'll go, "Okay, whatever, go ahead." And then she tells me, and I go, "Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay." And sometimes I go, "No, you're wrong." It just depends. Yeah, I didn't know that was our truck. I didn't know that. And then she told me about it, and I go, you didn't tell me about that. She goes, I didn't think you really needed to know, because I don't really care what she does with her money. I don't care what she does with her money. I tell her, you better be smart with it. That's all I tell her. Be smart with your money. I got money, she's got money, we don't really care. We don't intermingle that, you know. And now because of me, she's just gonna pay the thing off in one lump sum. I'm like, you need to pay it off, stop making payments. The ties and payments here, I just don't understand it, but you know. Anyway, good stuff. How far is that lookout area from what lookout area? What are you talking about? Lookout area. You're talking about that place that we, what's it, Calsoon? Or what the hell was the name of that place? The viewpoint? That's pretty far. Yeah, Calsoon. W Stream. W. You talking about Calsoon? I am living in Bangkok since 3 years. Lately, I'm reconsidering to go to another Southeast Asian country because lately, see the negatives of Thailand: ATM, the false sense of pride coupled with the low, I don't know, ATM, what that at the moment, low IQ behavior of some locals just annoys me. And it doesn't bother me. I don't care. Listen, there's low IQ people everywhere. Seriously, there are low IQ people all over the place, and I just try to be around people that I like to be around, and that's it. Really, you, do you know that I know that place very well? I mean, really, I know that place very, very well because I have a friend that lives there. I've probably been there 100 times, honestly. I mean, that's the truth. They've changed that place quite a bit. There used to be all kinds of little kiosks and everything like that out in the center of when you go into the W. There used to be all kinds of kiosks there, and now they're just, I don't know what they're doing, but they're building stuff there. They got some little coffee shop right in front of Starbucks, which makes no sense to me. Why would you have a coffee shop right next to Starbucks? And I went in there just to taste the coffee. And it was as good as Starbucks, a little bit cheaper, but it wasn't that good. You know, it's overpriced and full of tourists. Otherwise, it's one of the better areas of Bangkok. I don't really think Sukhumvit is one of the better areas of Bangkok. Quite honestly, there are just too many tourists there, and that's why it's not an area. I mean, I used to live there. I lived there for years. And I knew this is not the best area. It's not a great area. You just go out a ways, another 10, 15 minutes, 30 minutes away. And it's much, much better. Honestly. Yeah, I don't want to be in it. What do you want? What do I want to be in a tourist trap for? That's what Sukhumvit is. It's a tourist trap. I've noticed a lot of streamers doing Thailand content, but they should have hit up Scott. Bearing. I don't know about bearing. Depends on what you want, you know. Prakanong is okay. It depends on where you live in Prakanong because you can live on the main street, and then I would say no, it's not very good. Or I know I have one of my friends had a massive apartment, and it was back a ways. And when you got in, you weren't getting into the apartment unless you got through security, and that was a pain in the ass. And his place was fantastic. That was nice. You're in the middle of the city, but you're like hiding out. And even that was a little bit too much. I mean, so, like, I wouldn't live there now because I don't want to live around a bunch of people. I live in the village, and now the village is starting to get a little busier than it used to be, and I'm starting to get a little irritated with it, especially on like weekends and holidays. Like now, there's a lot more people running in and out of the village. You know, um, yeah, I mean, it really, it's all. I know people that they're happy living right in the middle of the city. They step out and it's nothing but just a mass of people and noise and chaos. That is not me. I just don't like it. And I'm looking to get away from where we are, and it's not chaotic like that. It can be chaotic, but most of the time, it's pretty mellow. I just, I mean, I get a grab, I walk across the street, which is 2 seconds, and the grab driver comes and picks me up. Boom, I'm out of there. And then once we get outside of the village, that's when it gets a little more chaotic. So, it all depends on what you want. And, I personally like beaches. And, I told my wife, hey, I just need a bungalow. If it's a place where I can get a bungalow for 500 baht, 800 baht, 1,000 baht a day, and I go there for a week, and then I come back, and then next month I come back for 2 weeks, and then I come back, and then I go back for a week. Okay, fine. Yeah, I mean, Anute is a pretty good place, and I've been there many, many times. I used to go there all the time, but this is 25, this is about 30 years ago. I used to go there all the time. I knew a bunch of girls there. I would go over to their apartments. Now it's a little bit different. It's a little more upscale, but there are places you can stay in Anute that are nice, you know. And it's better than uh, it's better than staying right in the heart of Sukhumvit. I personally just don't want that anymore, and it's just that I changed. When I first came here, I was like, oh my God, I can walk to Nana Plaza. I used to walk to Nana, I never took a taxi. I'd walk to Nana, then I'd walk to the beer garden, and I'd go to Tarme. From Tarme, maybe I'd go to Soy Cowboy, and then I'd come back, or maybe I'd go to Country Road. There used to be Country Road out there, and then I would come back. But I used to walk, and the girls didn't care. They'd be like, how long you got to walk for? 5 minutes. Okay, no problem. Listen, it ain't exotic, but it's a beach. But there's some nice beach there. But aren't you thinking about coming to Thailand? Yes, sir. Okay, there you go. Well, I've talked about this at great length, and it is that sometimes where you want to be needs to be within striking distance. You've got to be able to get to a hospital, to shopping, to everything like that. I mean, we left our house in the south, and we went into the city, into the center of the city, which we in Sa, and it was an hour. to get to the city. We went to it was like a Home Pro kind of place, and across the street was a coffee shop. It's a great coffee shop, fantastic coffee shop, one of the best so far that I've been in a long time. And I walked across the street, went to the coffee shop, and then later on we came back again a couple of days later and went to the same Home Pro to get some rice husk or something for the chickens. I walked across the street again, went to the coffee shop with my kid. We hung out there for like a half an hour, walked back, and they're like, "Okay, we're done." Great. Jumped in the truck and we left. That was perfect. It's an hour away. Same thing with the macro. It's an hour away. And it worked really well. And the airport, an hour away. So that's about as much as an hour to say 2 hours. But the hospital needs to be, at least the clinic needs to be a little closer. It ain't too far, man. Listen, I live way out on Lot Proud. And let me tell you something. You want to take a sky train, you could be there in a half an hour very easily, even less depending on if you take a motorcycle, you take the boat. I could take the boat from the back of the mall and be at Nana in about 20 minutes. And Chatuchak, it's not for me, man. Anute, okay. Lot Proud, okay. Chatuchak, no. No. Well, if Thailand's more expensive than Alabama, so be it. I live here and I'm not moving back to Florida or Alabama or New York or anywhere like that. I'm not going to do it. So, anyway, that's about all I got for today. The stream is now officially coming to an end. Yes, roll tide. That's all I have for today. Time to go. I always try to cut it off at 90 minutes, and it always goes for 2 hours. But 2 hours is where I draw the line. So, there you go. I will talk to you guys later, sometime next week, whenever. But take care, and I'll see you later.